that if you can't do these things, living in the UK or surviving here would be impossible for you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Ntombi. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're already a subscriber, I cannot thank you enough for the love and for the support. So yeah guys, this is a Saturday morning and I want to upload this video today. So I'm going to make this real quick. But before I start, I would like to say thank you so much for the love and for the support. In my last video, the engagement was off the charts. So many people were engaging in the comment section. So many people were sending me messages. So yeah, I am so grateful. Thank you so much. It makes it so much easier for me to come up here and, talk about all these things because of how you guys are engaging, how you guys are responding to the content. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. So yeah, guys, without wasting much of your time, let's just get into this. So as you know, this is part 2 of the realities of living in the UK as a foreign immigrant. So the reason why I decided not to focus this on, African immigrants is because I realized, and I also, there's some people that also reached out to me that are not from Africa. They're not very few. But yes, they did reach out to me and say, hey, you know, so I do have some friends this side that are from India and Sri Lanka. And they were like, you know what, instead of focusing on, educating your fellow Africans about what to expect when they are moving this side, how about you make this universal? Because some of our, friends from back home, they might also be watching this. So try and, accommodate everyone, not just Africans. And I was like, okay. So yeah, this is part 2 of us talking about the realities of living in the UK as a foreign immigrant. And in my last video, I spoke about, the bills, the cost of living. And today I want to talk about, work-life balance, parenting in the UK, marriage, and yeah. So hopefully we are going to have enough time because obviously, like I said, I want to make this really quick because I want to upload this video today. So yeah, guys, work-life balance. I remember when we were getting ready to move here, work-life balance was not something that we thought about at all, if I'm being honest. It wasn't important. I mean, not that it wasn't important, but because it's something that we had when we were in South Africa, we assumed, obviously, we were going to, balance work and life very easily when we moved to the UK. Little did we know that, the circumstances are so very much different and that it was going to be a challenge. It was going to need us to be very intentional about being, available for family time, being available for socializing with friends and, our little community this side. So yeah, and one might ask, what's so important about work-life balance? Guys, if only you knew. Because of how busy it is on this part of the world, and somebody might say, oh, it's busy everywhere, everyone is working. True, that is true. However, here, guys, because I'm not even sure how to explain it, but time this side moves very differently. It really does. Most people get to the point where they are exhausted of the routine kind of life that we live here. Because it's waking up in the morning, it's work, coming back, and, you're doing school runs probably in the morning and then in the afternoon. And then by the time you have dinner, everyone is exhausted. They go to bed tomorrow, repeat. And not everyone gets to sleep in their bed every night. Most people are doing night shifts. This part of the world, depending on what kind of job or what kind of work you do. We have nurses, we have people in the care work sector, we have people that are working in, warehouses and whatnot. And guys, not everyone gets to sleep in their bed. Not everyone gets to be at home the same time as their partner. Most people, because they are juggling work as well as childcare, you will find that couples work different parts of the day. Some work different parts, like some work during the day and the other will work at night, just so there is at least one parent available at home with the children. So yeah, work-life balance is essential. It's something that, it's a need. It's not just a want when you live here in the UK. It's a need. Otherwise, you will go insane. Yeah, I say that and I mean it. It can get so depressive, this side, that, if you're not making it intentional. And I'm not just talking about, taking time to socialize with other people. Even just taking time for yourself to rest. Not everyone gets to do that because obviously people are busy trying to make money, because you don't want to be here and at the end of the day, you have nothing to show for it. And besides that pressure, most people that are here also have to send money back home. And you're also supposed to invest in your future, in your children's future. You are also supposed to live, not just survive but thrive. So yeah, guys, the expectation is just, it's so high, and yet circumstances don't always allow. So yeah, guys, one really have to, you really have to be intentional about making time for your family, or, for your spouse, and taking time for yourself, taking time to socialize, because with how busy it can get this time, if you don't get time to de-stress, to debrief, to let loose, yeah, things can certainly get so dark when, you're living here. So with the need to have work-life balance, when you get the chance, you're obviously looking for activities to do with your family, with your children, or with your spouse. And like I said, guys, about the cost of living, those activities, they also cost money. So, yeah, there's a lot of planning that comes in when you are this side because of how easy it is to overspend when you are just trying to keep your head above water. I guess, let's hope I make sense. But yeah, moving on. Taking time to parent. When you are a parent and you are living this side, the stakes are so much higher because you don't have that village that you are used to having when you are back home. You don't have that community that you grew up with, where the neighbor or your aunts and uncles were always there to support your parents in bringing you up. Parents this side have had to be intentional about creating communities just so they can manage parenting. Like I mentioned, guys, in the previous video, we have school runs in the morning, we have school runs in the afternoon. And when you're working, obviously, it's very difficult to do those school runs. And I keep saying, when you're a couple, you can do this whilst your partner is doing this. What about the single parents? Can you imagine how difficult it is for them when they are here with their kids and they don't have a partner to share responsibilities with? It's so difficult, guys, and not many people realize it, or not many people acknowledge it. It's very different when you are home because you have family to support you. But when you are this side, even if you have a partner, it's just the two of you juggling everything. And it's even worse when you are a single parent. You have to be everything for your kids. You have to take care of everything, just you. So, like I said, guys, one really needs to build a community. As soon as you get here, make it a priority to find out who else, lives close to you, who's from where you are from. Preferably someone who is coming from the same country as you, who has the same culture as you, the same religion as you, so that you and your family will find it so much easier to connect, so much easier to gel in. So when you come this side, you really need to, find your community. So if you're an introvert, you need to go an extra mile to reach out, because you cannot make it out here just you. If you are an island, you will find it very difficult to survive if you are living here in the UK. So this is advice that I would specifically want to give to other parents that might be thinking about relocating to the UK. When you get here, active parenting should be your only goal. Okay? You really need to be actively involved in your children's life. You want to be in a position, in fact, you need to be in a position to know everything that goes on in your children's life, because things can easily get, I don't want to scare anyone, but there's a lot that goes on when you're living in a foreign country. As adults, we are doing everything that we can to fit in, isn't it? Can you imagine how much worse that is for children? They will do everything that they can to fit in, and particularly at school, they can be subjected to bullying, to racism. So one really needs to be actively involved. One really needs to active parent so that you know what is happening with your children. When they get back from school, you sit them down, you talk about what happened at school, and also they can be gang initiations happening at school as well, depending with where you live. Not just depending with where you live. In most places, we have children, particularly teens, that are approached by gangs, and they will try to initiate them. And whether or not they succumb to the initiation, things are still complicated in a way that you are afraid for them, that if they are initiated into those gangs, their life obviously are going to change, and all sorts of things can happen. And you're also worried that, even if they say no to the initiation, they'll still be targeted for saying no. So it's very tricky, especially when you have teenage children. You need to be vigilant. You need to be available, not just physically, but emotionally as well. You need to be emotionally available for them, because they are going through so much at school. They need to be able to talk to you about it. And if you are that kind of parent who is difficult to approach, or he's difficult to talk to, you will only make it difficult for your children, and obviously put them in a situation where, I obviously don't want to scare anyone, but you probably have heard, instances where children this side, particularly teens, they have been disturbed whilst they are, walking to school, or they've been attacked. Like I say, depending with where you live, but particularly those that live in London or remotely close to London, even those that are not even in London, you still need to be very vigilant when you are a parent, and not just to teens, but even when you have smaller children. Like I said, a lot might be going on at school, bullying, racism and whatnot. Because we are in a foreign country, it's not always easy for our children to fit in. They will do all sorts of things to try and fit in, and yeah. Another thing that I would also want to mention is how important it is. Well, I think I mentioned this already. Creating or joining a community, not just for your sake, but for your children. And like I said, preferably you would need to create a community where, your children will have other children with the same skin color to play with, the same cultures, the same religion, so that they don't feel like strangers wherever everywhere they are. You want to create a space for your children to feel some sense of belonging, to be able to interact with children that have the same background, the same cultures as them, that speak the same language. Well, you will find that, most children this side, they they all speak English, obviously, but not everyone speaks the language that their parents speak. So you'd obviously want to, for instance, if you are a Zimbabwean, you'd obviously want to create your own Zimbabwean community for yourself and your children, so that you have a little piece of home when you are this side. And your children, they don't feel like strangers, or they don't feel like they don't belong when they are at school and they are also, in the community. You obviously want to do everything that you can to avoid that. Moving on, marriage. So yeah, guys, like I said, when you're this side, life can get so busy. Work can get so busy. It can keep you so busy that if you're not intentional, you can struggle in more aspects of your life than you would want to admit. So it's very important that you take time, not just for yourself or not just for family, but for you as a couple as well, your husband or your wife. You want to make sure that you are still prioritizing your marriage, amongst everything else. You're still prioritizing that. So you need to take time, whether it's during the weekend, whether it's midweek, you still need to take the time to, to focus on you, to focus on your marriage. Because at the end of the day, it's just the two of you here. You are away from family. And when you are this side, obviously, because you have left your family, extended family, you have left, relatives that side, you also need to learn how to resolve conflict, just the two of you. Because isn't it, when you're back home and something goes wrong, there is your parents or your tetes, your aunts, your uncles, to help you navigate marital challenges, isn't it? But when you're this side, now you need to learn conflict resolution. And I'm not just talking about, knowing what it is, the theory part of it. You need to learn conflict resolution, in a practical manner. So a lot of work comes in to that as well. So it's very essential that both of you prioritize your marriage. That way you are able to, work together and prioritize each other at the same time. So being intentional about spending quality time together and, working to complement each other as well. Because like I said, guys, the cost of living this side it's crazy. It's insanely high. And you need to be in a position to complement each other financially as well. Because if you are working, if you're not working together as a couple, you can find it very difficult to thrive. You can survive, but you definitely won't thrive. You need to be able to work together because the rentals are high. Imagine you are earning, maybe, this is just an example. Imagine you're earning 2 point something a month, but you have to pay 1 point something rent. And you still have all these other bills to take care of. You still have food. How much money are you going to be left with to save? But if you have a partner and you're working together, complementing each other financially, then you will still be able to have something at the end of the month to save or to invest. But if you are working, if you're not working together and you are doing your separate things, yeah, you will most likely face difficulties, keeping your heads above water. And guys, like I mentioned earlier, if it's difficult for couples, how difficult is it for single parents that have, rentals to pay, bills, food, and all those other things that they need for their kids? So you really need to acknowledge how difficult it is for single parents this side. So if you are managing as a single parent and you are able to take care of your kids and yourself, shout out to you, because it's certainly not easy. And if you know someone who is a single parent this side and you are able to help in any way that you can by maybe watching their kids when they are working and whatnot, you are doing the Lord's work. You certainly are, if you are helping, because it's certainly not easy when you're this side. So yeah, guys, and another thing, when you're this side, because obviously, like I mentioned earlier on, you're away from, family. You left family back home, your communities, your villages and whatnot. And you're this side, it's just you and your partner. Your marriage can be tested in more ways than one. I will give an example of, managing your household. When you're both working, you cannot expect the other partner to do everything alone. To cook, to clean the house, to wash the dishes, to take care of the kids and whatnot. One person cannot do it alone. You obviously need each other. So you need to complement each other. Like I said, you need to complement each other financially, within your household. As far as housework is concerned, you need to complement each other in all aspects of your life, because on some days, because of work stress and whatnot, I might be functioning at 50% or 40%. That means my partner needs to be able to function at 60%, so that we can be everything that we need to be for our family. If I am functioning at, if my partner is functioning at 30% because of whatsoever reason, it could be work, it could be whatever it is, I need to be able to complement him. So if he's functioning at 30, I need to function at 70, so that we are giving our family the 100% that it deserves. So working together here, guys, I can't even stress enough how important it is. if you're a couple, your success will be determined by how much you can work together, how much you strive to complement each other. So yeah, guys, I think I will leave this discussion this for now. I will obviously be doing part 3. And part 3, I will be talking about how we as a family have managed to not just keep our heads above water, but how we have managed to thrive. I would like to believe that we are. Things are certainly not easy, but I am very grateful to God that we are managing our family as best as we can, and we are there for each other. We are prioritizing each other, in the midst of all the hustle and bustle. So, yeah, that's what I'll be talking about in the next video. So let me know in the comment section if you found this helpful, and as always, do not forget to like the video. Liking the video will help me in YouTube pushing this video to more viewers. So please, if you like what you heard today, like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and if you have any suggestions about what else you'd want me to address, please let me know in the comment section, or you can send me a message on my other social media platforms. I'm on Instagram as Mrs. Mushati. I am on Facebook as My Mushati. So yeah, I'm also on TikTok as in Toast World. So you can always reach out to me and, let me know what you think. Let me know what you need me to address in my next video. And this is for those that have requested me to do a video about social work, which is my profession. There are a few people that have asked me to do a video about how to relocate to the UK as a social worker. There are also some people that have asked me to do a video about what social work is as a profession and a practice. So yeah, I will be doing that as well. So stay tuned and keep an eye out for new videos every week. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah. Bye.